Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and we're out here in the garage for another garage gun talk. I have a few things I want to speak about and share with you. The first thing is the results of taking a couple of guns to the range, what I discovered, what I learned. I want to talk about the Supreme Court. We'll do a little politics in regards to some Second Amendment cases that they have taken, and my perspective on that. I don't think it's necessarily a good thing overall, even though many other legal scholars and Second Amendment people are saying it's a wonderful and great thing. And then I want to talk about I'm not going to say it's a mean comment, but it's a comment from somebody that has been a subscriber to my channel for a long time that, I don't know, like really pisses me off. Okay, but we'll get to that one at the end. So the first thing I want to talk about is some guns that I took to the range, and I want to share those experiences with you. I started to edit some of the range footage and start to put together my bullet point scripts for one of these because I hope to film the range report today, or at least a majority of it. The first gun I took to the range was this one right here, a Kimber Pro Eclipse II 1911, chambered in 45 ACP. In fact, both of the guns I'm going to show you today are in 45. And Kimber, I think, makes a beautiful 1911. This particular gun is not a commander size. It seems to be smaller than a commander, but definitely bigger than an officer size. It takes a full-size magazine, 8-round magazine, so it's kind of a full-size frame. But I have to go look at what this barrel length is, because it seems like it's definitely longer than an officer size, but it's shorter than a commander. And of course, anytime you get into shorter barrel lengths than a government model 5-inch barrel, you're always going to have issues. You will always have problems. And I think everybody agrees that Kimber makes a beautiful 1911, regardless of what model you get. Everything from their stippling to the materials they use to the grips they go with, and so forth. Whatever options they put on, they are just beautiful, beautiful 1911s. But everyone, I don't say jokes online, or I guess the meme online is that Kimbers don't run well. And so you're probably asking, how did this one run? I'm going to say it's 90 to 95% reliable. And it doesn't seem to matter what ammunition I used. I took a couple different types of 45, and I used 2 different magazines. I have a Kimber 8-round magazine, and I have a Metgar 8-round magazine. And I had issues with both mags and all different types of ammo. Typically, the problem I had with this gun was a failure to feed. And it was about 1 round every 2 magazines. So it runs reliably. I think for range use, for CCW, I'd be a little bit careful, because obviously with a concealed carry gun that you're depending or trusting your life with, you don't want to have to be clearing malfunctions. You want the most reliable gun possible. So is this going to be a quality control issue? Is it a Kimber thing? I don't know. The gun overall ran pretty well. As I said, 95% reliability is fine. You know, it's a little bit annoying when you have to clear one malfunction every now and then. But for a concealed carry gun, I'd be a little bit cautious. This gun also shoots a little bit low for me, so I have to do the, I guess I call it the combat hold on the sights, where I put the front dot above the rear 2 dots. But once I realized that after the first kind of opening magazine, it was fine. I'd say accuracy on this is not as tight as I would want it to be for my style, but it's fine. Functional, range is great, you know, range accuracy. Very comfortable gun to shoot. For its size, I kind of thought it'd have a little bit more recoil, but it didn't. It was very smooth shooting, and the slide to the frame kind of feel is very smooth as well. It's a good feeling gun. I just wish it was a little bit more reliable, but I show all the malfunctions on camera. There's not that many of them. There's just enough to take note, if that makes any sense. 90 to 95% reliability, but overall pretty good. The other gun that I took to the range and reviewed is the FN FNX-45 Tactical, and we used a suppressor on this range trip because this is definitely a gun that is designed to be a suppressor host. This is also in 45, And it has a gigantic magazine, 15 rounds of 45. My opinion on this pistol is, it is probably the nicest shooting 45 ACP handgun I've ever reviewed. Hands down. It's not the prettiest. It's not the, the best built. It's a lot of plastic on it. From the perspective of it being a duty military police handgun, it is outstanding. That is what this gun does. It's definitely not a competition gun. Now, let me tell you, this gun is the most accurate 45 I've ever shot. So you think it'd be great for competition. I found that even with the suppressor mounted to this, it has a lot of muzzle flip. The recoil is soft. I just kind of feel like the mechanics of it tend to give you more muzzle flip because of the higher bore axis. I don't know. It's weird. It's a soft shooting 45. Very soft shooting. But it has muzzle flip. It might be the weight distribution, the high bore axis, what have you. So if you're trying to do like double taps with this, or you're trying to shoot it real fast, you're not going to be very accurate because you're going to take a lot of time to try to find and put those sights back on target. But if you take your time, like one shot a second, this gun is crazy accurate. I mean, at 7, 15, 25 yards, I mean, this thing was incredible. Incredible. And the couple of flyers I had were me, not the gun. This gun is so accurate, it's crazy. It still feels like a toy, though, because of the safety selector, I guess I'd say selector switch, the safety decocker switch. It's plasticky. It has like, I don't know, it just feels cheap. The trigger feels cheap because it has a plastic face or a trigger shoe to it. I kind of feel like both the safety decocker lever and the trigger should be made of metal. I wish the slide lock or the slide stop was a little bit bigger. It's very small compared to all of the rest of the controls. But I think that was my only complaints about it. But man, you just go to the range and shoot this. It is a lot of fun, and it's absolutely outstanding. I mean, I was so impressed by this. I just kind of feel like it could use a little bit more refinement. Just make the controls feel a little bit more solid. And I don't know what can really be done about the muzzle flip. But of course, as I said, if you buy this as a duty or a defense handgun, it's 5 out of 5 stars. I mean, it is awesome. It'd be great for home defense. It would not be a good concealed carry piece or a piece you have on your hip. Obviously, it's very big, and it's definitely not a competition gun. It's not a race gun. You're not going to be able to, shoot it super fast, super accurate. But as a military defense handgun, it's very nice, very nice. What a great experience with this. Single action, double action. I have absolutely zero complaints about it in that regard. The only test that I just don't feel like went well was the shoot fast test. Change the magazine out. And even too, with this, I guess it's the grip angle. It feels like it just doesn't go in there naturally. Like it goes in a weird angle. I don't think they copied a 1911 grip angle. I'd have to check. I feel like it's a little bit more angled towards the back than a 1911. So here we have kind of both those. I guess it's kind of similar, but I feel like these mags do not naturally go in as well. Like it's just not the right natural angle. Like I want to go in that way for some reason. And somehow when I insert the magazine, I gotta come more from the back than I do the front. Anyway, small gripe. I mean, this thing is just awesome handgun. One of the nicest 45s I've ever reviewed. Just yeah. Anyway, so that was my experience with that awesome beauty right there. So now let's talk a little politics. I was watching Washington Gun Law yesterday. You guys might follow them, one of the legal firearms channels, and he was talking about how the Supreme Court has agreed to take on another Second Amendment case. And I've been kind of curious about this because, the Second Amendment often is overlooked or ignored by the Supreme Court. Traditionally, it has been. I mean, before Heller, They had not really taken on a Second Amendment case in a long time. And then we got Heller and McDonald, which dealt with, a gun ban case in D.C. and then the right to carry in Chicago. And then we had nothing. The Supreme Court was silent until we had Bruin, okay? But now we've taken on a bunch of cases, but they all kind of deal with the same concept. And now, of course, we have the bump stock case, which they heard back in February, which I think their ruling should be out sometime this month or next month. And now they've agreed to hear the case regarding the 80% frames and receivers rule. They still haven't taken on an assault weapons ban case. But what has me concerned is because the cases all deal with the concept of the ATF's rulemaking authority, I don't think it bodes well for the outcomes of these cases. And let me explain. A lot of times the Supreme Court will consolidate cases together or concepts into one case. So if they know they can solve multiple problems with a single case, they'll do that. So for example, when it comes to the bump stock case, they can do the bump stock case and they will go, okay, we either agree or disagree with the rule, like it's constitutional, and then they will address the concept of the ATF's rulemaking authority. And they might rule on that, saying, well, it's either they're taking too much liberty or they're doing it right. And that precedent can be applied to all other things. So if, let's just say the Supreme Court comes out with a bump stock thing and saying bump stocks are not machine guns, they can't be regulated as such, and the ATF does not have the authority to go beyond the plain English, the plain reading of the statute, well, then there would be no reason to have the 80% frames and receivers case go to the Supreme Court, because it essentially would be covered under the bump stock ruling, because they'll slap the ATF down saying you can't do that. However, they're taking the case, which tells me that the bump stock case is probably going to be narrowly tailored and only deal with bump stocks and not the rulemaking authority. And the fact they took this and this new frames and receivers rule versus other things tells me they're probably going to rule on it pretty narrowly. It sounds like some of the justices are definitely interested in Second Amendment issues, but I feel like they're going to go about this in a very piecemeal fashion. They're not going to give us the broad ruling that we need to slap the ATF down when it comes to their rulemaking authority and their interpretation of law. And so I am not as excited about this as other people. I mean, I'm excited that they're taking it because finally some of these things will be ultimately decided, right? We've been begging them, just make a decision one way or the other. But I think because they're doing these individual cases, the outcome for us is going to be relatively neutral. I really feel like, I think we may win some, I think we're going to lose some, but they're not going to tell the ATF or other government agencies, you can't do this type of rulemaking. You have to read the clear language of the statute. So I'm a little bit sad about that. I know it said other people are really excited. I am not, because I think it's going to be a neutral to negative thing for us over time, the fact that they're doing this piecemeal. But I don't hear anybody talking about that. As I said, it's kind of weird that they would ignore the Second Amendment for so long, and then in the span of just a year or two, they take all these Second Amendment cases, and they all kind of deal with the same underlying problem. So it sounds like they're not addressing the problem, they're addressing the symptoms. So curious what you guys think. All right, so that's what I got on the guns I reviewed and some politics stuff. And I know you guys love to talk about that, but now I want to talk about a comment that I got on my channel. Now, if you don't want me to, or to hear me complain, you can click away. I will not be offended. But I will say, the comment that I got, this one kind of bothered me. And normally I would save mean comments for later when I have a whole bunch of them I do at the end of the week. But this one's kind of special in the sense that it was said by somebody that I know has been following my channel for some time. And I recognize the name. It's not like somebody I interact with all the time, but I remember seeing them, and they even had like a badge next to their name when they posted this saying they had been a subscriber on my main channel for over a year. Of course, my main channel's only been up for like, what, a year and, 3 months, ever since I had to restart it all. And I kind of was hurt at first, and then I kind of got a little bit upset. Now, you guys know that I am an INTJ on the Myers-Briggs personality type indicator. And there's something very stereotypical about INTJs. There's something called the INTJ door slam. We have a personality type that once you cross a line, whether it's intentional or not, you are excommunicated from the INTJ's life forever. Okay? Now, I will say that I have encountered very few INTJs because they're relatively rare personality types in the world. But I have been a victim of the INTJ door slam. I am very aware that either I said something, did something, whatever, or situational. Sometimes it was me, sometimes it wasn't. And I understand why other people would just have nothing to do with me ever again. Okay? And it can be something over something silly, stupid, and minor. But as an INTJ, I totally get it. Because there's people in my life that I have excised from my life because of something small. Okay? And it has nothing to do with forgiveness. It's just the way that we process things. And unfortunately, this person, that I will tell you who it is here in a second, has received the Jason INTJ door slam. I have read this comment a number of different ways, and I have been thinking, okay, what is the intent behind it? I'm trying to do better about that. Are they trying to be mean? But I have decided that while they might not have been trying to be mean, it ticks me off enough that they have been banned and excommunicated. So, let's go over the comment, and I think you guys will see what I'm talking about here. All right, so on my range report, Silencer Co. Maxim 9, intricately suppressed semi-automatic pistol. K. Mondi said, take the time and money to become an above-average shooter. Your channel is too big for you not to show that level of improvement. Worst case, hire a real shooter to showcase the firearms from the range. All right, so I think you guys know where I'm going with this one. Okay, this is falling into the category of go get training. You guys know that. And the philosophy of my channel. Well, first off, I do want to address 3 points in this. The first one is the time and money. Okay, the time and money. I don't have enough time as it is to do what I do between my professional life, family life, and the Texas Gun Vault. I have no time, okay? Money. The channel already has me losing money, but it's a passion project, so I don't care, right? It's my hobby. It's my hobby. So I'm not going to go and invest other time, especially because I don't know if you guys are aware. I mention this from time to time that I have a doctorate degree in music. I have spent a lot of time in college learning, studying, and I have reached a point in my life where I do independent study, things that I'm interested in, but I am done paying money to learn from other people. I have spent tens of thousands of dollars doing that. And I'm just at the point in my life where I don't give an F. I just don't give an F anymore. That I do this because I like it. I am totally fine being an average shooter. I don't want to be better, okay? I just like to shoot the guns. The experience of the guns is what I want to showcase. I know I'm not the greatest shot. I think I'm okay. And that's it. So I'm not going to spend time or money trying to become a better shooter. If I become a better shooter through the reviewing of firearms, great. If I don't, I don't. I could care less. It's my channel, my life, and I enjoy what I do. Second thing. Now this one, I'm not upset about, but I do disagree with. They say your channel is too big for you not to show that level of improvement. First of all, I am the smallest of channels. I know my place in the hierarchy of the firearms world. I mean, I am like this. No, not just the Texas Gunball 2. The Texas Gunball 2 is like super tiny. But my main channel, while it is growing, it's less than 25,000 subscribers. I think I have like 18,500 right now, okay? And I've been like crawling back up ever since losing my original channel. So I am a super small channel. I am so insignificant. I am not on the radar of anybody else. I am just on the radar of people that happen to be looking up a review of a certain gun and they find my channel. My channel is small. Would I like to make it to 100,000 subscribers? Yes, but not because I want my channel to be big, but because I look at that as a milestone of my passion project. I don't want to be big. I don't want to be this as a career. I don't want people to look at me like I look at other YouTubers. I look at other YouTubers that this is their focus in life, and I appreciate that. I'm glad they're there doing it. And I look at how it has changed their life from when they were first, just doing it for fun to where now it's a business, and all the hate, all the shade that comes with that. I just want to keep doing this the way that I do it. If it gets big, it gets big. If it stays small, it stays small. I've said many times, if nobody watches my content and I only get 30 views a video and it takes me 5 hours to make the video, I'm still going to make the content. Not because I do it for you or anybody else. I do it for me because I enjoy doing it. Okay? So I appreciate him thinking my channel is big, but it's not. It's very tiny, very tiny. But now, let's get to the part that essentially made me do the INTJ door slam. So he says, worst case, hire a real shooter to showcase the firearms from the range. Okay, so first off, if he thinks he can do it better, he needs to go do it. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. If you don't like what I do, don't watch my content. I could care freaking less. I do not care. I do not care if you think I'm a good shooter, bad shooter, average shooter. I don't care. I just don't care. If you want to see a professional shooter, go watch a professional shooter. But I am sick and tired of people coming to my channel and seeing a review on a gun that maybe I don't shoot well. And the reason I don't shoot that gun well could be for variables. For example, it doesn't fit my hand well. I'm not good at that style of gun. There are some people that, for example, my weakness, or one of my weaknesses as a shooter, is revolvers. Okay? I am not a good revolver shooter. I know that. I tell people going into the reviews. I can shoot revolvers, but revolvers are not my forte. I'm just not good with them. And so I do not expect me to shoot them well. But when I do shoot them well, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And I talk about it. I showcase it. If I don't shoot it well, I say, well, it's just not my thing. Sometimes I'll shoot some guns well, sometimes I won't. But you can watch one review. So for example, when you watch the review of this gun, when it comes out in a few months, you're going to see me shoot exceptionally well. I mean, really well. It's one of the guns that makes me look like a better shot than I actually am. Then maybe you'll see me shoot this gun, okay? And I will say, I do not shoot it as well as the FNX-45. It's okay. I shoot it low. My groups are bigger. But because people are so used to seeing professional shooters or things edited in a way, they're like, you suck, you're terrible, you go get a professional shooter. I believe that the data that I show when a gun is bad or good for me is important to people. But if you watch my reviews, you can see that I shoot some guns really, really well. So if I was simply a bad shot, and I need to hire a professional shooter, well, first off, are they going to pay for that? Probably not, right? They're not going to do that. I don't want to do that because I want to shoot the gun. So screw him, right? It's my channel. It's my experience. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to experience it with me. I could care less. But if I shoot a gun well, great. If I don't, I don't. But if I was a bad shot, wouldn't I shoot all guns bad? You know, I think that's the takeaway from my channel. That there are some guns that I shoot really well, and literally on the same trip, the next gun that I shoot, I don't shoot well at all. I think that is an important data point for people. It's interesting for me. Why in the world can I shoot two guns back to back? One, I look like a great shot, and the next one, I can't hit the broadside of a barn. Is it because I need more training to go hire a professional shooter? No. No, it's because the gun doesn't fit me for whatever reason. It may fit you great, and you might have the exact opposite experience than I do. You might shoot the gun that I shoot bad, great, and the gun that I shoot great, bad. Do you need to go hire a professional shooter? So all I'm going to say is, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice because people don't know what it's like to run a channel, and I have to hear this bullshit all the time. All I'm going to say is, I guess I'm going to quote Elon Musk. I'm going to quote Elon Musk on this one. Well, first off, this is my world. The Texas Gun Vault is my world. Okay, it's my place. I can shut the comments off the videos if I want. You know, I can decide what guns I'm going to review. I can decide if I'm going to review a gun. I can decide what I'm going to make my videos about. I make all the final decisions here. And I can respond to comments, not respond to comments, allow comments. I can not make a video, make a video. It's my world. This is my world. It's my hobby, my passion project. I'm not doing it for any other reason. Okay? So I'm going to quote Elon Musk here. A few months ago, he was at some business meeting, and he was talking about how the Walt Disney Company took all their advertising money away from X because obviously Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, does not like Elon Musk because they have very different political worldviews. And at this thing, whoever the reporter was asked Elon Musk about this. And Elon Musk said, I have one thing for you, Bob. Or in this case, I have one thing for you. And let me make sure I get the name right again. Is it K. Mondi, I think? Yeah, K. Mondi. So I'm going to quote Elon Musk here. So I'm not going to use the name Bob like Elon did, but go fuck yourself. Yeah, do it. I don't care. If you don't like what I do, go make your own channel. Maybe you do. I don't care because I don't watch it. But if you don't like what I make, go fuck yourself. And that's all I got to say about that. I know you guys never see me get that animated about stuff, but that's what I feel. So maybe I let some of you down. Once again, I don't care. I am just sick and tired of this bullshit. I'm sick and tired of it. You know, people watch one video. And by the way, on that video, okay, I don't shoot it terrible. I don't shoot that Maxim 9 terrible. It's okay. You know? But I guess the expectation is that every shooter, if you're going to review a gun, you should only be able to shoot groups this tight at 25 yards. Not everybody can do that. Go to your local range and just go down the bays and watch people shoot. You have 100 people there. How many people are shooting groups this size at 25 yards consistently? It's not happening. But I guess that's the expectation because people watch gun porn and they feel like that's what everybody should do. So anyway, yeah, that's how I feel about it. So K. Mondi got the Jason INTJ door slam. I could care less if they've been watching my channel for years, commented, we've had great interactions before. That, in my opinion, that comment crossed the line and then go F themselves. So that's it. That's all I got to say. It's my world, and I allow you all to be in it. You don't have to be here. You can go away, and I will never be upset about it. Never be upset. I have no expectations that anybody watches my content. I have no expectations that you like my content. No expectations of that. And that's okay. You are free to be you. Go do your own thing. But that's it. That's it. So don't go away mad. Just go away. So that's tonight's Garage Gun Talk. So there you go. So let me know what you think. And the word of the day. The word of the day. The word of the day is slam, because of the INTJ door slam. So if you can work that into a comment, I'll be impressed. So there you go. So, as always, thanks for watching.